I must ask you too, why has it taken us so long to get the second season? I have been waiting and waiting and waiting. And where have you been?
Well, it's an experiment called absence makes the heart grow fonder. If you let people wait long enough, then they really will, hopefully, be just ready for it right at the right time. And that's where we are right now for this summer.
I think the anticipated help too. I mean, with us being gone so long, you could still binge the first season. And now that we have, a day we're coming back, it'll all make sense. So that's definitely one too.
The thing that struck me funny about all this is that both of you really haven't had the Wonder Years kind of childhoods. Having been involved in the entertainment business, I'm assuming that you didn't get that kind of, if you will, nuclear thing because you were busy working.
Well, I mean, everybody's Wonder Years are different, in my opinion. Everybody's childhood, not everybody lives the same life. You have some kids who aren't even in the entertainment business and are still homeschooled. So one person's normalcy isn't another person's normalcy. So I think for me, because, I'm the only kid here, the Wonder Years are still happening. They're just happening differently. And, you experience things just at a different level, so I'm still experiencing school, except my school's in a trailer. It's not in a classroom with, 30, 60 kids. I'm still going to graduate middle school. I'm still going to graduate high school. I graduated elementary. I still went to kindergarten, so the years are still going. Time is still moving, and you just got to appreciate it while it's here, man. I like to say that kids on television grow up faster than kids who aren't in the entertainment space, which I know it's not true, but it seems like that. A lot of times, even for season 2, people coming back say, man, you look so older. And, to me, I'm like, do I? But it's because, when people see you on television so much, they're looking at it. And then so the Wonder Years are definitely still happening. It just looks different for everyone.
Well, Dulé, what were yours like? You were on Broadway, for God's sakes.
I was. And I'll say, I don't know what EJ's talking about. I mean, I'm only 15 years old, so there's 2 kids here. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know where he got that from, first of all. but I will say, I was doing the stage in New York, but I did have that nuclear family. It was always there in the midst of when the Broadway experience or the stage experience was added onto it. I came along, that was added onto what was already there. But I have so many memories of growing up in my hometown in Saraville, New Jersey, with my cousins, with my friends, riding the bike in the park, getting into trouble. All of these stories that we had in the Wonder Years, I can relate to all of them. My parents telling me to stay out of grown folks' business and all that kind of stuff. And EJ is right where it's different, because once I started doing theater growing up, that was an added thing, but the core of it is the same. The root of it is the same, which is about family. It's about
sure. Then when they tell you that your mother is Patti LaBelle, how does that land? Oh my God!
Really? It lands like a piece of delicious pie. So, it's you can't ask for a better mother than Patti LaBelle. To be able to share the screen with an icon, a legend such as Miss Patti, is something that I don't think any of us take lightly. She brought such magnificent energy to the role and to the set, just being the light that she is. And I think the audiences are really going to enjoy what she brings to the Williams family, because the matriarch is always the matriarch, and she doesn't really have to apologize to anybody. So when she comes, she's going to really have her way.
She captures the rules aspect of the game. It's very much, you listen to her or else you're in trouble. I think that's great. I love when you guys get to go to New York. I wanted that to last longer. Is there a chance that you would go back or do more episodes where you go to New York again?
I mean, you never know. The thing about scripted television is, writers have endless imagination. So you never know where a story could land. We've been talking about New York since the first season, with Bill getting his job, finding out it's in New York, even with Lillian's opportunity of her going further away in Alabama, being away from home, so the possibilities are endless. You never know what a pencil or a pen can do for a person. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, going back to New York wouldn't be a bad idea. You never know how the story would play out. But in terms of the episodes, I mean, it was great. You see that experience and you see people in the different worlds. So, you have Dean outside of school, outside of state. He's in a place he's never been before. meeting new people, seeing different things he hasn't seen before. So, I mean, you never know.
How was it for the two of you working together, pretty intensely in that episode? Was it good to be able to bond a little bit more, or what was that like?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I've learned a lot from Dulé. Like, I mean, I started this show when I was 11, I'm 14, even facial hair tips, I ask him, how does, does he ever feel hair itching on his sides? Cause I feel like I'm growing hair, I've learned so much from him. So, I mean, the bond only grows stronger, man. I've gotten a lot of great advice from Dulé. He's a great person. He's a gentle soul. He's a genuine person. So, I mean, being with Dulé is great. And even filming, I mean, the filming chemistry is it's a laugh fest on set, man. So it's one big happy family.
So Dulé, what you learned from him?
Oh, yeah.
What did I learn from him?
Yeah.
How to stay persistent in achieving your goal. That's what I've learned from EJ. He really has this goal of being a hilarious comedian, and he keeps on working at it. If at first you don't succeed, try again and again and again and again.
Okay.
Do you see a little of yourself in him at all?
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely see that, just because of the fact of being I started as a young actor or a young artist in this journey, and seeing where he is, there are a lot of things that I can relate to. I wouldn't even go so far as to say I see myself reflected, because I think that takes away from the gift that is EJ and the uniqueness that is him. But I do admire the journey that he's on and the way that he's handling the success that he is having and navigating this crazy business called show, because it is a hard industry to keep your feet on the ground. And EJ and his family has done a phenomenal job in staying connected to the real world. And for that, in the midst of his brilliance, I applaud him for that.
Well, where will Bill's career go? I mean, certainly this writing gig in New York is something that opens things up. And then he has the school. Where will he land?
And that's something, we'll have to see over time. I mean, you mentioned before about, will he go back to New York? I think Saladin Patterson probably will have a better grasp as to whether we will ever get back to New York. But Bill is always trying to balance his passion versus his responsibilities. And I think, you know what? I think he's an artist. So I think he will continue to always keep trying to achieve this untouchable thing. It's always so close, this fame, this stardom, this success in terms of music. And I think we'll see how that plays itself out. At the same time, he is also very thrilled to be able to still do what he loves to do. If he can't do it in this way, he's going to do it another way. And that's where I think the teaching comes in. You can always affect young minds.
And to echo what Dulé said as well, when he said it's always that one step, I think he's definitely right. Even trying to find the laughter and all the seriousness, and the best example I have is when he's in New York, Concrete Jungle, Where Dreams Are Made Of. We all know where that song is now, but just think that one line that he said was stupid could have made the Williams family rich. So, so I think you're right. You're always reaching for a goal, and trying is the best thing.
Well, now your co-star got a singing episode. Do you get a dancing episode? Will there be something like that at some point? We've talked about it. I think if the show is blessed to be able to, if we're afforded the opportunity to have many seasons, I would not be surprised. One thing about the way the show is crafted is that Dean has a whole his imagination is vast. So if Bill was going to show up dancing anywhere, I think it would be in the midst of one of Dean's flights of fancy. And hopefully, I said, if we're afforded enough seasons, then I think you might see Bill do a soft shoe or two. That was the biggest surprise I had about you, Dulé, was that I did not know that you were a singer, dancer, Broadway person, because I had watched all these TV shows. And then I remembered I had seen you in Tap Dance Kid. I even looked up the playbill, and I thought, oh my God, here's what happened to that kid. See? And I'm wondering if with EJ, you say, where will his career go?
I mean, like I always say, possibilities are always endless. I'm never trying to stay in one box to be in the industry they call it typecasted, but you know, in real life, you never want to stick to one thing unless that one thing you're doing is absolutely what you love. I love the entertainment industry. I love putting smiles on people's faces. You know, people, even as my jokes, as Dulé was saying, people may not like my jokes, especially him, but it puts smiles on people's faces, and that's all that really matters to me. So whether that be outside of the entertainment industry or like I am right now inside the entertainment industry, putting smiles on people's faces is my passion. It's what I love to do. So, and you know, a career, you can do that in any career. So, I mean, hey, you never know.
I think I will say quickly, I think the sky is the limit for EJ. Because as I said before, he's very talented as an actor, but he's also very brilliant in his mind. And I'm going to say it now, but he's also very gifted even with the basketball. So I think wherever he wants to go, he's at a point in life where he has multiple roads that he can take. And it will be very interesting to see what happens 15, 20 years from now.
And my amazing comedic jokes.
I mean, he's in the things that I said that he's very gifted at. I mean, I don't know about, some things you just don't have. Some things you're just not called for. You see what I'm saying?
Some things should just be better left undone, right?
Exactly.